All right. So, next question. Have the women in our community granted too much access to themselves, making it harder to be appreciated and find reciprocity in relationships?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's way too many women out here settling for the bare minimum. I've been in that position in my life. I'm probably in that position right now, to be completely honest with you. But um, I feel like as women, we have totally lost the vision of what it is to really be a woman. And I know times are different now, but at the end of the day, a man should always want to court you. A man should always want to do nice things for you. A man should always want to be like, if you got to call your mama or your daddy or your friend or your this or your that when you in a predicament and you got a whole man, you're settling. Point blank, period.
But it's that settling. You got to think about it. Men come in such a scarcity, and then you're dating very young. Imagine just a man fresh out of college, or even he didn't go to college. Let's say he's a skilled worker, or he's fresh out of his high school days, and he's getting his McDonald's groove on or whatever else. You're not making a lot of money. Then you live in Miami. That's not everybody live in Miami, but we live in Miami.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
rent is ridiculous. He
Ridiculous.
could have his own. He could have his own place, his own car, and work two jobs and still not be making enough to be financially
That's
set.
facts.
So at that point,
I think there's always an anomaly and there's always like that little gray area where it's like some things could slide and some things can't. But it just, I've learned that men are very different from women in the sense that once you show him he could slide, he is gonna trick Daddy and Trina everywhere. He's gonna slip and slide everywhere. He's never gonna stop. You feel what I'm saying? Like you have to almost like put your foot down when it comes to these men and let them know like this is what I expect of you. If we have those moments in which you can't do these things, that's perfectly fine, but we can't live in this moment. Like it can't always be that moment. And I kind of feel like women these days have become so independent, which I don't think anything is wrong with that. But I think they've become so independent that it is hard for a man to date us at this point because it's like we've learned how to spoil ourselves and give ourselves what we want and date ourselves. So a lot of the time, again, when we do go out and we date, our standard is a little bit different because it's like if I can afford to go and spend $1,200 on me on a bad day, I kind of want a nigga that can spend $1,200 on me on a bad day, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
all right. So let me just say it though, right? So for you to feel appreciated, he has to be able to go above and beyond or do what you can do, and for you to feel like the reciprocity is there. It's a money situation. It's not an emotional standpoint and stuff. We can't bring it to a point where where reciprocity is a new culture where we can pour into each other.
I take care of who takes care of me.
Right.
That's the type of person that I am. I would never just have a man around because he's doing this and that. That's not, I've never been that kind of person. I'm more of an emotional support kind of person because I didn't have that growing up. So like growing up, I was extremely spoiled. Anything I wanted, I got it, this, and that. But my parents are like, both of them are emotionally retarded. Like both of them, my mother and my father. So when I'm in a relationship, I look for emotional support. Like, ask me how my day was, like what's wrong, like let's talk, you good? Those things matter to me. Everybody's not like me, and I totally understand that. But again, I take care of who takes care of me. I've always learned, I always came up as like a man is the head of the household and he does what he's supposed to do. If that man loses his job or get fired or whatever the case may be, at that point it's my job to kind of handle up. Because what have I been doing with my money this whole time that you've been paying bills? You feel what I'm saying? I can't just go fuck off when I feel like it. Like I have to be able to reciprocate, especially if you've proven to be a hard worker, you've proven to be a provider. And everybody's definition of what they want in a relationship is different. But again, at the same time, whatever your standard is for yourself, you should always have a partner that meets that standard. That's how I feel.
Understood. Love the answer.